Not all Leos were meant to shine in the same way. And in 2026, that truth becomes impossible to ignore. Some Leos are born into visibility, expected to lead, to be strong, to carry presence from an early age. Others are shaped by giving time, energy, loyalty, and love until they quietly forget themselves. And some are forged under pressure, tested repeatedly, challenged by life, and strengthened through experiences no one else sees. Your birthday does not just mark when you were born, it reveals how your Leo strength was designed to awaken. Many people think Leo is simple. They see confidence, charisma, and power on the surface. But what they miss is the inner cost of carrying that fire. The responsibility, the solitude, the constant expectation to rise no matter how heavy life becomes. That is why not all Leos walk the same path. In 2026, the differences between the three types of Leo become clearer than ever. This year does not reward surface strength. It reveals inner structure. Some Leos will finally understand why leadership always followed them, even when they never asked for it. Some will realize why generosity became a burden instead of a blessing. And some will recognize why life pushed them harder than others, not to break them, but to shape them. As you listen, pay attention to which description feels uncomfortably accurate. That reaction is not coincidence. Because this is not about labels, it is about understanding the role your soul chose to play and the lesson your Leo energy came here to master. Comment if you've ever felt that people see your strength but not the weight you carry behind it. Now let's begin with the first type of Leo, the one who was seen early, trusted early, and expected to be strong long before they ever felt ready. Part 1. Type 1. Leo, born July 23rd to August 1st. The Leo who was seen early. There is a certain type of Leo who does not grow into leadership. Leadership finds them. From an early age, people notice them. They are watched more closely, listened to more carefully, and expected to rise more quickly than others, not because they demand attention, but because their presence naturally pulls it in. This is the Leo who walks into a room and subtly changes the atmosphere, not through effort, not through performance, but through an unspoken gravity that others feel instinctively. Yet what most people never understand is that being seen early comes with a hidden cost. When you are recognized too soon, you are also expected too soon, expected to be strong, expected to know, expected to lead even when you are still learning who you are. Type 1. Leo often grows up carrying responsibility before fully understanding it. They become the one others lean on, follow, or defer to long before they feel ready for that weight. This creates an inner contradiction: confidence on the outside, quiet pressure on the inside. Their strength appears effortless, but it is not accidental. It is forged through constant visibility. Because when you are always seen, you are rarely allowed to disappear. This is why solitude becomes sacred to this Leo, not because they dislike people, but because silence is the only place where they are not expected to perform. Alone, they are no longer the leader, the example, or the standard. They are simply themselves. In these quiet moments, Type 1 Leo regains balance. They reflect, recalibrate, and reconnect with the inner fire that fuels their outer presence. Without solitude, their strength would slowly become exhaustion. One of the deepest lessons this Leo must learn is that leadership does not require constant visibility. Power does not disappear when you step back. And rest is not weakness, it is preservation. Type 1. Leo is often misunderstood as self-sufficient to the point of not needing support, but the truth is more subtle. They are independent because they learned early that they could not wait for permission to become strong. Their resilience is not loud, it is disciplined. When challenges arise, they do not collapse. They stabilize. They adapt. They rise not for applause, but because falling is not an option they were ever given. Yet this same resilience can become a trap if left unexamined, because always being strong can make it difficult to ask for help. Always leading can make it difficult to rest. and always being seen can make it difficult to feel truly understood. The life lesson for this Leo is simple but not easy. You are allowed to step out of the spotlight without losing your power. Your presence is not diminished by silence. Your worth is not measured by how much you carry. And leadership does not mean you must always go first. When Type 1 Leo learns this, their strength becomes sustainable instead of sacrificial. Comment if you've always been expected to be strong even when you needed time to recover. Now let's move to the second type of Leo, the one whose fire was expressed not through leadership but through giving, sometimes more than they should have. Part 2. Type 2. Leo, born August 2nd to August 11th. The Leo who gave before receiving. This type of Leo does not lead by standing in front. They lead by giving. From early on, Type 2 Leo learns how to make others feel seen, valued, and supported. They notice emotional shifts in a room. They sense when someone needs encouragement, warmth, or reassurance. And instinctively, they step in, not because they are weak, but because their fire expresses itself through generosity. This Leo gives their time freely, their energy generously, their loyalty deeply. They become the friend who always shows up, the partner who invests fully, the presence that lifts others when spirits are low. And for a long time, this feels natural. Giving feels like purpose. But over time, a quiet imbalance can form, because when you give easily, people begin to expect it. And when you give without limits, you may forget to protect yourself. Type 2. Leo often discovers that their greatest strength, generosity, can slowly turn into exhaustion if it is not guided by boundaries. They begin to carry others emotionally while neglecting their own needs. They smile while feeling depleted. They uplift others while quietly postponing their own healing. This does not happen because they are unaware. It happens because they believe love must be demonstrated through sacrifice. One of the most difficult lessons for this Leo is realizing that being needed is not the same as being valued. They may be surrounded by people and still feel unseen. They may give endlessly and still feel unfulfilled. Not because they lack appreciation, but because their energy has been flowing outward without being replenished. Yet this Leo is not naive. Type 2. Leo is strong-willed and deeply self-aware beneath their warmth. When they choose to give, it is intentional. When they set boundaries, it is decisive. Their growth begins the moment they understand this truth. Generosity is only powerful when it comes from abundance, not obligation. When Type 2 Leo learns to say no without guilt, something shifts. Their giving becomes radiant instead of draining. Their presence becomes nourishing instead of costly. They begin to attract people who respect their energy, not just consume it. Another defining quality of this Leo is their emotional openness. They are not afraid of intimacy. They allow themselves to feel deeply joy, disappointment, hope, and vulnerability. This emotional depth allows them to form meaningful connections that go beyond surface interaction. People feel safe around them, understood, accepted. But emotional openness also requires protection. And this Leo's journey is learning that they do not need to earn love by overextending themselves. Their fire was never meant to burn itself out to keep others warm. Moments of solitude are essential for Type 2. Leo not as escape, but as recalibration. In quiet moments, they reconnect with themselves instead of everyone else. They remember their own desires, their own limits, their own worth. The life lesson for this Leo is profound. You do not lose love by choosing yourself. You refine it. When Type 2 Leo honors their boundaries, their generosity becomes sustainable. Their warmth becomes intentional, and their presence becomes a gift, not a sacrifice. Comment if you've ever given so much to others that you forgot to ask what you needed. Now, let's move to the final type of Leo, the one shaped not by visibility or generosity, but by pressure, challenge, and relentless growth. Part 3. Type 3. Leo, born August 12th to August 22nd, the Leo forged by pressure. This type of Leo does not awaken gently. They awaken through challenge. While others may have been encouraged or supported early type 3, Leo often discovers their strength the hard way through resistance, competition, and repeated tests of will. Life does not hand them confidence. It demands that they build it. From early on, this Leo learns how to push forward even when the path is unclear. They are placed in situations that require action, decisiveness, and resilience. Not because they seek conflict, but because growth finds them through friction. Pressure becomes familiar territory. Type 3. Leo develops an intense inner drive. When they commit to a goal, they pursue it with unwavering focus. Setbacks do not discourage them, they sharpen them. Failure does not weaken them, it instructs them. This Leo is often misunderstood as aggressive or overly intense. But beneath that intensity lies a deeper truth. They are motivated not by ego, but by purpose. They do not compete to dominate others. They compete to surpass who they were yesterday. One of the defining traits of Type 3 Leo is their ability to remain composed under pressure. In moments where others hesitate, they act. In moments where others panic, they focus. They become the one people turn to in high-stakes situations, not because they are loud, but because they are reliable. Yet this strength comes with its own burden. Because when you are forged through pressure, rest can feel unfamiliar. Slowing down can feel unsafe. Stillness can feel like stagnation. Type 3. Leo often struggles with the belief that momentum must be constant, that pausing means falling behind. That softness equals vulnerability. But this belief, if left unchecked, can lead to burnout. Their growth accelerates the moment they understand that discipline includes recovery. That strategy includes patience. And that power does not disappear when they stop pushing. In relationships, this Leo is fiercely loyal and deeply committed. They invest fully and expect sincerity, effort, and integrity in return. Superficial connections do not satisfy them. They want bonds built on mutual strength and shared ambition. Yet even this driven Leo needs solitude, not to escape, but to recalibrate direction. Alone, they reconnect with purpose instead of pressure. They remember why they began, not just how far they have come. The life lesson for Type 3 Leo is clear. Strength without alignment becomes exhaustion. When this Leo learns to balance drive with intention, their power becomes unstoppable, not because it is relentless, but because it is sustainable. Comment if life pushed you harder than others and made you stronger because of it. Now let's bring all three types together. Conclusion. The truth behind the three types of Leo. These are not just three types of Leo. They are three expressions of the same fire shaped by timing, experience, and responsibility. Some Leos are seen early and must learn how to rest without losing authority. Some give deeply and must learn how to protect their energy without losing warmth. And some are forged by pressure and must learn how to slow down without losing momentum. Your birthday does not limit you to one path. It reveals where your journey began. Many Leos will move through more than one of these stages in a lifetime. Leadership may come first, then generosity. Pressure may arrive later, refining everything that came before. What matters most is not which type you recognize today, but which lesson you are being asked to master now. Because Leo's true power is not performance, it is self-awareness. When Leo understands themselves, their fire no longer burns blindly, it illuminates. If this helped you understand yourself more clearly, write your birthday and the Leo type you resonate with most right now. And if you want content that doesn't just describe Leo, but explains the inner structure of Leo's strength, responsibility, and purpose, subscribe to the channel. The power of the Zodiac signs. This is not surface astrology. This is the reality of Leo lived and understood.